You're born in a small hole in the snow. It's dark, cramped, and cold. Your mom curls around you and your siblings, but she's exhausted. She's been hungry for weeks, hunting and digging the den just to survive long enough to have you. The wind howls outside, and the snow presses in on all sides. But you don't notice yet. That's because you're blind. All you know is to crawl closer to your mom and fight for the best spot. Even though you can't stand yet, you're already competing with your siblings. You're small, and at the bottom of the Arctic food chain, and you have no idea that it's only going to get worse. Your family is not what you'd expect. There's an alpha pair. Your mom and dad will run everything. Your dad is the dominant one, keeping the pack's territory safe, leading hunts, and making sure no one steps out of line. Your mom is the lead female, raising the pups and keeping the pack together. Then there are the other wolves to help with hunting and babysitting. They don't eat until your parents are done. The pack stays together, because it's safer than being out in the Arctic alone. But you're at the very bottom of the pack. No one listens to you, and no one cares about you except your mom. But even that's conditional. If the pack has to choose between you and survival, you won't like their choice. This is the Arctic. There's no room for sympathy here. For now, though, the pack tolerates you. Your dad marks the territory, making sure no rival wolves or predators get too close. Your mom stays by the den, keeping you and your siblings alive. The others bring back food, but it's never enough. The pack eats first, and what's left might make it to your mom, and if she's lucky, you get what's left of that. The pack isn't a family. The way humans see it's a survival unit. Everyone has a role, and yours right now is to stay alive without slowing them down. If you fall behind, no one is going to save you. The sooner you realize this, the better. A couple of weeks later, your eyes open. The world is bright and cold, and the Arctic one doesn't care that you're still trying to figure out life. You crawl out of the den for the first time and immediately regret it. The snow is everywhere, in your paws, your fur, and your face. You don't understand why your siblings are so excited to explore. They're bigger, stronger, and better at pushing you aside. The adults don't notice you. They're too busy protecting the territory or hunting. You're still totally dependent on your mom, but she has 4 mouths to feed and barely enough food for herself. The pack eats first, and the scraps are gone before you even get a chance. You try chewing on flouncing bones, but it's too much work for too little. The pack moves, and you follow. You can't keep up. Your legs are weak. Your paws sink into the snow, and you fall behind. Your mom nudges you forward, but it's not out of kindness. It's just because a dead pup is a waste. The pack can't afford to waste anything. Every time she pushes you, you feel smaller and weaker. Slowly, you realize that no one is going to carry you. Soon, it's time for you to learn to hunt. The pack takes you and your siblings to watch the adults. You don't get any help. You just have to figure it out. The first hunt is a hare. The adults spread out silently, but you're too loud, and the hare escapes. The pack is frustrated, but they move on without waiting for you. As time goes on, you fall further behind. Your siblings grow stronger, while you're still struggling. Winter arrives, and everything gets worse. Food is even harder to find. The pack hunts a caribou, but by the time you get there, there's nothing left but bones. You gnaw on them, trying to fill your stomach. The pack doesn't stop to let you catch up. You keep moving, even though every step feels like it might be your last. The nights are the worst. The pack huddles together for warmth, but you're shoved to the outside. The wind cuts through your fur, and you shiver until morning. By the time spring comes, you've survived your first year, but barely. You've grown, but so have the others. You're still at the bottom of the pack. The new pups are born, and they take your place. Your mom's too busy with them to care about you anymore. Your dad, the alpha, starts to see you as a threat. Every time you try to eat, he shoves you away. He growls when you get too close to the pups. It's clear that you're not wanted. One day, the pack moves without you. You watch them disappear into the distance and realize they're not coming back. You're on your own now. At first, being alone feels freeing. There's no more growling, no more fighting for scraps. You wander the tundra, surviving on whatever you can catch. You start to get the hang of it. You hunt hares, your usual target. They're small and fast, but now you're faster. Days turn into weeks, and you find your rhythm. Every now and then, you cross into another pack's territory, but you know how to avoid them. Then, one day, you smell something different. It's not food or another pack, it's another wolf. A lone female. You follow the scent cautiously, and soon you find her. She's just like you, thin, cautious, and alone. The two of you circle each other, sizing each other up. Neither of you has much to offer, but survival skills and the stubbornness that's kept you alive. It's not a romantic story, but out here, that doesn't matter. Together, you start to travel, hunting and resting as a team. Things get easier when you're not alone. Seasons pass, and you settle into a routine with your new partner. You hunt, you rest, and you protect a small territory. One day, your mate gives birth to 3 pups. It's a huge responsibility, but you rise to the challenge. You teach them how to walk, play, and hunt. You lead them across the tundra, showing them where to find food and how to survive. But life as the leader of your pack is hard. You hunt tirelessly to feed your family. Your mate helps, but the weight of responsibility is all on you. One day, while hunting, you get injured. You chase a caribou, but it kicks you and hurts your leg. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but the pain doesn't go away. It gets worse. You start to fall behind, and the pups don't understand why you're slower. The infection spreads, and your strength fades. You stop eating, stop moving. Eventually, you lie down in the snow, far from the pack. They don't wait for you. They can't afford to. You know how it works in the Arctic. This is just how things are. The infection takes hold, and the cold sinks into your bones. Your breaths slow and eventually stop. There's no ceremony. You die the same way you live alone in the vast, cold wilderness. The Arctic doesn't care. It just keeps going, and so does your pack. They continue to hunt, survive, and carry on without you. The cycle continues. The Arctic always wins.